went out to see Charlie Fox yesterday. We'd gone to school together. There's no word.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for June 26, 2025. Looks like it's just after 11, so we'll get started. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes of the previous meeting? If so, I'll entertain any motions related to.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second. Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No public hearings, no old business. Going to jump straight into new business today. Seymour Oktoberfest has lots and lots of stuff coming up, so we'll try to get through them as quickly and lively as possible here. Chime in if you two ever want to say anything, but if not, I'm just going to read through stuff first, and then we can go from there. First thing up is the Oktoberfest parade. This will go from the First Baptist Church High School area on the defined route. The route, we actually have two maps depending on construction on 2nd Street. We'll make that call later in the year, but we do have the insurance, have both route options, similar to previous years, including last year where the route did change. Looks like the activity itself is at 1:30 on Saturday, October 4th. Request help from DPW with road closures on either route. Any questions? I want to make a motion.
Do we want to make them individually or?
You want to do them together?
Doesn't matter.
We can. It's up to you guys.
Is there more that's not on the agenda? Are there more requests that's not on the agenda?
Yeah, the beer gardens.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a new item to bring up.
Let's just make them one at a time.
Okay, so the parade.
Yes, I'll make a motion to allow the parade to happen with approval of the route in a later date.
Second.
Motion and a second on the parade, pending route adjustment. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we do have the Oktoberfest 5K. This one comes to us at 8 a.m. on Saturday, October the 4th. It'll be in the Seymour High School area. They were going to request a police presence at 6th Street and Community Drive for runners to cross safely into Sunset Parkway. This is the same route they have used for many, many moons, way back when I was young and a runner, and we have their certificate of insurance on this one. Any questions?
Nope.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the 5K. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we got the festival. So this one is starts Tuesday at 6 p.m. Sorry, 9:30 at 6 p.m. Through Sunday morning, 3 a.m. roughly, unless DPW can get us out of, well, I shouldn't say DPW, everybody can get us out of there quicker. Road closures, 2nd Street from the railroad track, headed west to Walnut Street, Chestnut Street from the north side of City Hall all the way to Tipton Street, 3rd Street from the railroad tracks headed west to Walnut Street as well, St. Louis Avenue from the railroad west, on the west end to Walnut Street, both north and south sides of the track, Jeffersonville Avenue, a half block north of St. Louis Avenue. They would also like a large banner for the festival visibility across Chestnut Street. Looks like it is pretty much the same areas as previous years. I'm not seeing anything that is too unusual in their requests here. Certificate of insurance is attached.
No questions for me.
I would assume fire department will probably be the one that hangs that banner again, Eric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we've got a carnival that happens during the festival. Looks like we're working with the same carnival company as we have in years past. Darren, I'm gonna have you a really weird stack for Dave there. Let's see, so Sunday, 9/29, which may or may not be the right date, cause didn't they just tell me Tuesday was the 30th?
Yeah, 9/28.
9/28, at 8 AM until Sunday, 10/8, at 8 AM. This would be
Wait a
the
minute.
parking lot.
10/8 is a Wednesday.
10/8 is a Wednesday, okay, so we got
9/28 is a Sunday.
9/28. Well, I think the Sunday part's right. Does that sound right to you, Dixon?
So that's what I was just looking at.
At one time, it was half the parking lot on Sunday.
Well, I know we changed that a couple years
Okay,
ago.
yeah, I got last year to change that.
We did it at Sunday morning
Okay,
this
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah,
And then they started coming in about 11, they started dropping.
yep.
So, the 29th is actually Monday. So I think it's the 28th.
Probably needs to be the 28th.
28th at 8 AM through Wednesday, 10/8 at 8 AM. That gives them a couple days
That's
to,
extra days, so
yeah,
it should be plenty.
which I know last year the final trailer was rolling out Tuesday night, so.
Yeah, there. That should definitely cover it.
So that is the parking lot behind the Knights of Columbus over there. They'll need SPD and all of their helpers to help clear things out. I know 54 and 95 have been helpers over the years on that one. Other than that, it looks like the same basic stuff.
With the change of the date to 28th, I'd make a motion to approve that.
Second.
The flyer actually does have it on the 28th.
Okay.
So, okay. Insurance and everything's attached. Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Mitchell, you want to talk about your other item, Oktoberfest related, while it's all fresh on our minds? Veer just a little bit off the agenda here.
Yep, so, most of us are aware of, the current situation with Smith Law and the lot that we usually lease from them for the beer garden. I've been talking to Roger, Jason's dad, trying to still get a contract signed so that we can lease the lot to use the beer garden in the same spot it's always been. But in Jason's current situation, unsure if we will be able to get that done. So basically what I'm asking the board is to review some backup options, should we not be able to get that accomplished and signed off, so that we can still have the beer garden. So I've come up with like 3 backup options. One option is a whole another street closer on Second across the tracks by Bite the Bullet down to Brewski's, and then back over to Knights of Columbus, and then back down to the insurance offices there on the corner, to set up the beer garden in that area. Obviously, we would leave the alleyway open on the side of Bite the Bullet so that you can still go behind the police station. So for traffic or trailers, anything that needs to get in and out can use that alleyway along the railroad tracks.
So that would be that would just be going down Second Street then, that block
Yep.
would be the beer garden in some
Yep,
capacity.
in between that
Okay.
Bite the Bullet and Brewski's,
Yep.
the end of that road there. That's option 1 that I've come up with, or potentially, I think it's Keach lot, is that right, behind the post office?
Mhm.
That lot's about the same size as what Smith Laws is, in square footage. Thankfully, there's no obstructions over there. I think I may, depending on power, may have to get a gen set to rent there, so I could have that running during the festival, because we do have the big beer truck and the ticket booths and stuff like that we have to have power for. Or the third would be maybe the Jackson County Public Library. But I don't know how that runs, if that runs strictly through the Friends of the Library or the trustee board over there, or if that runs through you guys. Because a lot of my other spots are kind of eaten up by vendor parking, refrigeration trucks, and I still need access to be able to have room for that semi-trailer, and then my porta pots to get serviced have to be off of an external access point for the septic truck to come in and pump. So there's 3 options there of just as a backup if we can't block things in with Jason and Roger.
Our talk's pretty good with Roger about that lot, or you don't feel good about it?
Roger's kind of up in the air. So Jason's supposed to come back to town this weekend, he said, and he's going to try and get him to sign, but
Okay.
He's unsure if he actually will come to town and if he will sign.
Is that something Roger's against or just?
Roger's not against, he's just trying to get Jason to sign it.
Okay,
But
gotcha. Okay.
and I was just talking to Chief, we're not sure who's actually in charge of the property at this point. Is that Kendra Zooming chairman was saying it was maybe commissioners, or is it a spouse, or is it, we can't seem to narrow down who's in charge of
I don't know
what.
what that would be.
Or if it's state police, or, I don't know,
Could be
Chief, if you
IRS.
can help
Yeah.
expand on
Could be
that.
what? Could be
Yeah.
IRS. Yeah.
And that's something we don't really have to dive into at this
Yeah.
moment, so, sorry, Greg,
I understand. I did reach out to the state police because that's their case. They basically put it back on the wife. We did make contact with her and she's pushing it on to Roger.
okay.
So, it's in legal.
Can we table this one for?
I was gonna say,
meeting
I
or
don't know
two?
that we necessarily need an answer
I don't think so
today
either.
on it, as you guys explore your options. I mean, it sounds to me like you found 3 options there that,
How hard would it be to get electric at some of the places where you need it? Or how far ahead of time would you have to do that?
That I don't know. I'd probably need to go hold of Larry at LBC Electric and ask him. More than likely, some of the locations I'll probably just have to run gen sets. If I can
Yeah.
rent those from like McAllister's or Sunbelt out of Columbus,
That would make sense.
instead of doing a big investment. Now, Second Street across, I don't know how the manhole cover power is across the tracks. I know we have a lot set up for the main festival.
I'm personally not a fan of Second Street, but.
and I don't think we've got any on the Second Street piece of that side as far as the manholes go.
So, I know on Second Street,
There is
I
one
know
down.
that that's not the preferred, probably by DPW getting stuff out of the Oktoberfest, but the Knights of Columbus run the beer garden, so we would have power probably from their building. We could run an extension.
But
They don't
there's
have much power.
There's a box right there at the corner that they put in for City Jam when they had it there.
Yeah, that's right, there is.
So there's a fairly new box there,
Yeah.
which would probably be big enough.
I'm not against it, I'm just from,
I think that would require closing another block of Indianapolis Avenue down to Third Street.
well, you just wouldn't, we've
At
kinda
least, at
got,
least to the alley.
we've got southbound closed pretty much anyway now. And then
There's
that
a lot of delivery
northbound,
trucks going.
that northbound one's kinda going around, but if you close it at Ewing, then nobody's gonna be down there anyway.
Right.
We've got plenty of barricades that we can put up the barricades across Second and Ewing. My only concern is, at the end of the festival, that's the way the picnic tables leave the
Yes.
festival.
Yeah,
I think that's solvable. I don't think that's as big of a problem as, I think it just means we gotta change our approach a little
But-
bit.
We'll just have to turn onto Indianapolis and go up to Third Street.
I don't even think you'll have that. I think it just means beer garden's not last. It suddenly becomes one of the first
Could be.
pieces.
You guys like Second Street all right? Or?
Second Street doesn't bother me.
It's more
Completely.
conducive than having, I think, even up here, because it's still,
You're close to the festival versus being a block
yes,
away.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Although the library lot appeals to me as well, if you can
Right.
get in touch with Julia and find out
Okay.
whether it's a.
That's where the fest originally was.
It is. I remember riding rides up there.
Carnival, yeah, right, yeah.
Because they may be interested in that, so they don't have to do the Friends of the Library parking and all that stuff.
Okay.
So you might reach out to her and see who's the conversation there, but
Okay.
to me, that puts you almost right where you were. You're right at the edge of the festival instead of, I know this is not really a block away, but it's,
Library
What
probably
do you
want
guys like
compensation
best?
Since they're not gonna
Yeah.
get that parking money.
well, they
Preference,
pay Smith.
Second Street
Second
is
Street.
the preferred, especially after talking to the Knights of Columbus. Obviously, they like it because they can in and out of their building for supplies and
Yeah.
stocking, and they've kind of talked to maybe the Rollins, is it the Rollins family that owns Brewskis and stuff? Maybe they'd enjoy the
So do you
extra
still fence
traffic and.
the street or you
I
just-
think we would, Chad, I guess, maybe lean on you that one. I think we could still fence it. That fence is pretty
I
modular.
think with the proximity
So
of
I
the
think we can
rides
still
and
do it. It's
stuff.
just gonna be longer and narrower
Yeah,
than what,
still fence it and leave the sidewalks open.
yeah, that would be the plan.
And like I said, I think it changes the 11 PM piece on Saturday night, but I think it just means that the beer garden gets cleaned. You take a couple panels of fence off each end to where we can drive through.
Yeah, exactly. Move the tables to the side and.
Slide the tables off like we do already, and we start in there, and
Would you still try to put a tent in there? And
That's to be determined at that point.
Yeah,
I'd have
that
to
might
lock
be
that in. As
difficult.
soon as I get a location locked in, I have to figure out where
I just hope the other one works out.
Yeah, I'm
original.
hoping so too. I just wanted to make sure with you guys, of reason staying here is to make sure that any of these backup options that if you guys.
We do have some time, but I think we just need to stay, you need to stay in contact with us and,
Okay.
and Roger especially, or
Yep.
Jason or whatever, that situation, let us know, so, as soon as you hear something, we can
Okay.
get the wheels rolling on this end, or whatever we need to do.
So we'll leave it tabled for now and I'll keep you posted.
Keep us posted,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I think it sounds like you've got some options figured out, so.
Something will work, yeah.
Okay. I got 3 to explore, or 4 to explore technically, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Keep us updated.
We'll do.
Thanks, Mitchell.
We'll do a formal motion to table or?
We never really had a item per se.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's see, special request, farmer's market lot. Chick-fil-A. They would like to be on the farmer's market lot July 7th, 11th, 14th, 18th, 21st, 25th, 28th, from 11 to 1 p.m. You want me to repeat those? 7, 11, 14, 18, 21, 25, 28. That is Chick-fil-A. No recent complaints that I'm aware of. I know they've been working, it seems decently, with the extra parking that's going on there. They've kind of moved back a little bit. So everything appears to be in order.
Motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion and second on Chick-fil-A. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we got Spud Bank. Ms. Lake and Eubank would like to be at the farmer's market lot on July 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, and 31st from 11 to 3. She's been there several times, other than some conversation about Wednesday nights related to the farmer's market. She has been working with the farmer's market. I don't know of any complaints, and that particular incident was resolved pretty quickly. So,
I'll make a motion to allow Spud Bank to operate during those dates and times.
Second.
motion and second to approve Spud Bank. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, let's see, we got Dale Claycamp. Is doing a pet cancer awareness motorcycle / Jeep ride on August the 30th from 7 A to 7 P. We'll be giving out free food. All proceeds donated for the cancer facility for pets. Freeman Field Park is the location they're requesting. That's in August. Tracy, are there any tournaments or anything out there at that time? No tournaments? Okay. Any questions that I can try to find out for you?
How, do they need the portion of the park, or is there any?
I'm assuming just parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the way it is.
so it'll just be the parking lot? All 200 plus parking spaces? Other questions?
Everything's in place, it seems like?
Seems like it, yeah.
This first time for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I don't remember hearing it.
Okay, next up, we got a sidewalk sale coming up. Audi Jane, which is had the ribbon cutting month or so ago, 125 West 2nd Street. Boutique type store with a travel agency in the back. They'd like to set up some tables on the sidewalk to do a bit of a sidewalk sale on August the 2nd. They'll also be requesting one food truck, as well to be determined on who specifically, as they are checking availability. My comment before we get too deep into this one, I will say it right up front, I have no problem with the sidewalk sale, but I know the committee working on that from council will probably be bringing forward at the next meeting or the meeting after changes to the food truck ordinance, which would eliminate being able to set up on streets if passed. I got to preface that with if passed, because council may decide they don't agree with that. So
On streets, you mean to take parking places for the food truck?
Right.
Okay.
It seemed like in the retail development meeting where that was discussed that they were comfortable with parking lots, but they were not in favor of allowing food trucks on the street anymore.
Or if the street's closed, I believe is.
You're right, that's a good point, that if the street is fully closed,
Then,
then they're,
That's the way I understand it. I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, which I know I saw a draft version of it go through an email the other day, but I don't remember all the fine print, so. So, with that being said, what's everybody's thoughts on what to do with that one?
Well, it would have to be, that'd take 2 meetings. That would, it would barely get in by then.
Mm-hmm.
it'd really be throwing them a curve if for some reason,
I think you gotta prove it now as the law stands. I mean, you grandfathered in if it
That's
passes.
true.
I think that's a good idea, because that just, you don't want to throw anybody a curve there to
And
last.
we have
minute.
let them
If
do
it
it
were to
previous.
pass,
Yeah, no, they just did it for the ribbon
Yeah.
cutting,
Yeah.
so.
Now, I don't see a problem with letting them go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and pass it. And
Okay.
after that, we'll sort it all out whenever
Yep.
it's done.
yep, I
So
agree.
that'd be a motion.
Okay, I'll second that. Thanks,
Motion and a
Sharon.
second to approve the sidewalk sale and the food truck. Obviously, certified food truck as far as the permit
Yes,
goes.
yes.
Okay. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Humane Society of Jackson County, we got the annual service agreement coming up here. Jane, any major changes on this one that you're aware of?
The date.
Date changes is it, everything else appears to be the same. Any questions?
Make a motion to accept the service agreement.
Second?
Motion and a second to accept the service agreement. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, we got a new, correct, Jane?
Yes.
Food truck license. This is Yaya's Sugar Shack
Yeah.
from Austin, Indiana. Shaved ice and flavored lemon shake-ups. Is what Yaya sells.
What
No-
is it?
No.
Dawn's back
Sorry.
there shaking her
I'm
head.
losing it here.
YA-YA' Sugar Shack. Yaya's Sugar Shack. Shaved ice, flavored lemon shake-ups. Sorry, Darren, they do not appear to do frozen novelties.
Yeah, I'd buy one anyway.
I briefly lost my
Wow.
concentration there.
You broke Floyd. They do have insurance coverage in their packet here. They do have a Jackson County Health Department food booth permit. They have a picture of their shake-ups and shaved ice. They have a driver's license, which is a CDL, by the way, from the owner. That is current. They are a registered Indiana retail merchant. And there is the rest of their insurance-related items. Any questions?
I lost my concentration. If they've checked all the boxes, I don't know why we wouldn't approve them as well as all the others we do.
Yes, they appear to be in order.
That would be a motion to approve it.
I'll second Yaya.
Motion to approve and properly seconded for Yaya's. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
Motion carries. I didn't know it was gonna be so hard to get through that one. Assistant Chief John Watson.
You got me, so it's gonna be shorter.
You gotta invite Ernie.
Wow.
You guys should find 3 quotes for a parking lot repair for the Seymour Police Department. It's needing some major repairs. Bernie went over and looked at it a week or so ago. We have some large cracks that has formed. We sealed it and did some crack fill about 4 or 5 years ago. It's in need again. I got 3 different quotes. All-Star and BP2 quoted just to do crack fill and seal. As Bernie was saying when he was over there, he goes, a lot of that stuff looks like it could be milled. And so lawyers actually came in a little bit higher, but they're going to mill it down and do a complete patch over the damaged portions of the parking lot. So Lawyers
They're
is,
gonna pave and the others are just gonna seal.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Lawyers is gonna mill up the damaged areas, put new asphalt down and seal it, as the other two were just going to do crack seal and then recoat. So Lawyers is what we're leaning towards. It's more of a permanent fix than just,
Long-term rather than.
yeah. So
Why didn't they wanna mill up the other two?
that's what they offered me. So, and their Lawyers is actually cheaper when you look at their itemized. The clean and crack fill existing cracks and seal coat is still
Okay.
cheaper than the other two quotes of just fill and seal coat.
Yep.
So. And we do have $9,000 budgeted for this repair this year. And we also have some other funds that we can take out of building and equipment to.
So that was in your capital projects this year?
Yeah, QMCAP, we have $9,000 budgeted for a parking lot repair this year, so.
Well, it's nice to see the bids all be pretty competitive, even though this is a little different. It makes sense, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's where we, any
If that's,
questions on that?
if that's the direction you wanna go, I'm totally fine with making a motion to accept, who was it?
Second.
Lawyers, yeah.
Second it.
Motion and a second to approve Lawyer for the parking lot project. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next. That was it. Chief, you got anything? Cause I got more papers that say Seymour PD on them.
Yeah, do you want me to come up now or miscellaneous?
Come on up here. We're already in police mode here. Or John, you wanna come back and tell us about these?
Chief O'Brien from the Police Department. So in front of you, you have the School Resource Officer Agreement. This is a new MOU for the 25-26 school year. The only change is page 1, the date, effective July 1st, and page 2 at the top. They will be adding a second elementary school SRO. I did let Chris review this. It's the same contract we've had for years. It's just those two additions. So I ask that you approve that MOU for SROs.
So we're adding a new person and updating basically.
Yep.
Okay. Questions?
I think it's always good to add a person when we can get them, so.
I will make the statement now because it'll be coming in the future that you will be wanting to add an officer
Correct.
to backfill,
Yeah, so
to keep the numbers where they are, so.
I had asked you guys earlier, you had proved if we had an MOU, I have a probationary salary that we would hire the guy this year so we didn't steal from the street. So we would add that 48th officer to the department. And then in the next year's budget, it'll be budgeted as 48 manpower, so. But I do have the money. I don't need any money from council. It's already budgeted for a probationary officer, so.
There'll be an update on the,
So it'll be someone that hadn't been through the academy, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so,
well, no, the office, the SRO may come from inside the department,
Okay, but,
but
okay,
adding, that way we
Got
don't
it.
lose a guy
that
on
way
the
we
street.
don't take somebody from the street
Got it.
to backfill
Yeah.
that, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the SRO updated contract with the addition of a new SRO position from the city of Seymour.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
Second thing I have is a new general order, number 2018. You have a copy of that also. This is a fingerprint scanner policy. I took numerous departments that already have fingerprint scanners and basically put it in our format. Chris has reviewed this. She doesn't see any issues with it. The police and fire chief's attorney currently has it, but she's on vacation this week, so she has not reviewed it yet. I did tell Chris, if you guys approve it today and we need to make changes, we can come back in the next July meeting and change it if there is any change from the attorney. So basically it follows the United States Constitution of how you can do fingerprint scanners and who you can do and what you can't do and everything else. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Well, I'm sure you've done your homework and rightfully so today's environment, but,
As opposed to updating, I would say approve pending the other review, just to make sure.
And
That way, if
who's-
she comes back and says it's good, then it's already in place, and if she says we do need changes, then we know we're changing, amending them.
Who else is reviewing it?
So, earlier this year, Eric and I were basically offered a attorney that works with numerous police and fire departments, on a contingency basis that we could shoot things off of. She does employment law. She was Indianapolis's main litigator for years, so she understands policies and everything else. She went into private practice, has been picking up cities and stuff, so,
Who is it?
Beth Copeland, she used to be with, she was with the
Taft
city of
Law.
Indianapolis, and then she had Taft Law Firm.
Yeah.
So, we had used her for some other stuff, and, it's nice that me and Eric can knock stuff off of her before we,
Yeah. Well, I think you'd be covered if, if Chris approves and
Yep.
that approval, so. So the motion was with a, Is
Yeah,
there a
I'll make
motion?
the motion, and like I said, the motion is just pending
dual approval?
Beth's review as well. In the event that Beth comes back, we know we gotta reapproach it on
and it may be
July,
a wording
whatever.
change that she just doesn't like or something, but like I said, this is a policy from like South Bend and some other departments that I just took everything out of, so it's up to the Constitution.
and I think, given the current situation, having two different attorneys looking at it, I think is a step in the right direction, so. If you make, was your, did you?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll
Like I said,
second
just
that
pending
motion. Yeah.
Motion and second, all those in favor signify with aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Mr. Dixon,
You guys can get the Chad and Bernie show or the Bernie and Chad show today.
okay, Mr. Dixon and Mr. Hausberger.
Yeah, why not here? I do have a couple things real quick though. Wanted everybody to know that, the city and the county kind of work together. If you, go to the older bypass, if you will, the northern bypass, the county did the patching work that's on that deck, last night, and the city did the traffic control for them. So just wanted y'all to know that we've been working on it for a little bit, and we actually finally executed it. So, hopefully we get a little bit more life out of that bridge, and we'll keep moving on.
It drives much nicer.
Yeah, it does.
I noticed
I
that
mean,
this morning.
I didn't bend the rim today when I went over it today,
Good.
so
Just-
it's all right.
Push on.
Yeah,
Bring in pictures.
I did want to say, while I had an opportunity, tomorrow, you all know that Second Street has an impact with local business a little bit. I want at least to give a shout out to Co-op or Country Mark. Tomorrow, they are having their annual, what do they call that?
Fuel freedom. What is it? Fuel freedom.
Fuel to Freedom. So 50 cents per gallon from noon to 5 tomorrow. 50 cents per gallon will go to military families. So just want to give a shout out for that. If I can talk on Second Street real quick.
Well, you should probably go back. Premier Ag's getting killed right now because they've got a dead end street and
Right.
nobody can see them at all. So please try to help out that company if you can today or in the next few weeks.
I buy gas there multiple times a week sometimes.
Originally, I think we were looking at a mill and fill from Pine to Indianapolis around the 27th, 28th. We have since had some discussions, and we wanted to get the underground wire pulled for the stoplights, get those in and make sure they're operational just in case there's an issue underground with that conduit. So now we mill, we fill, we have a problem underground, can't pull that wire. Now we're ripping a new road out. So we don't want to do that. So just for precautionary reasons, we are going to delay that mill and fill until we get the traffic lights up. They should be delivered into next week or so. I hate to commit on any dates, but want to at least let that be known as well. And then once those are operational, we will commence the.
Where's that at?
Downtown.
Downtown.
Downtown Second Street.
Oh, right
Yeah,
here.
the lights on Second Street. That's all I really have on second, unless you wanna add anything. Okay, and I'll leave the RFP and the rest of it to you.
Okay, sure, all right. Some other things with roads, we are going forward with the O'Brien Street project. We're doing some edits right now to the final plans, but one of the things the state wants us to do is get an inspection firm on staff, and so we currently have an advertisement out for to get some letters of intent from different inspection firms. Those will be coming in towards the middle of July. We're trying to get packages, a little bit of some packages together with the plans to get to some of these interested parties. And I promise you, I'll get you a set of plans as soon as I can get those put together. The other things that are happening, we're currently closing up the 2024 CCMG plans for a paving project. The one thing I just heard recently was the Bateman final surface layer is not going to be placed until around July 12th on a Saturday. They're doing some pavement for, I believe, another private firm. And it's supposed to be easier for everyone if they do it all at do the final surface on it. It's a Saturday. So if we do this on a Saturday, that'll be the least impacted business, and we'll be able to help another company, basically the private company gets a little bit of help with the mobilization issues. Then,
And that shouldn't impact our deadline, we're still within our deadline, so everybody knows.
sure. And then the other two projects that we still have outstanding are Pine Street, which should be done today, and Springer, which should be done, at least the paving part of it should be done today. So then we'll have probably walkthroughs and closeouts soon after. So real happy about that, those projects coming to a close.
Absolutely.
All right, any question? And then the idea is in a couple of weeks, we'll be starting on the 25 project, and I think they're focused a lot on
Jackson Park.
South Jackson Park Drive, so there'll be delays getting through there in a couple of weeks.
That'll be the biggest one to attack, so wanted to hit it first.
Then just one other thing, a quick reminder to make sure we get permits when you're planning to do anything within the right of way. So come through, see Jeremy's office for anything that's anything that you're trying to improve that's within the right of way. That goes for utilities and private owners.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you,
Chad. Mr. Bose.
Have two sewer adjustments this week. First one is Francis Elsner, 338, 340 South Broadway. It's pool fill, looking for a credit of $10.98.
Big dollars.
No. Kiddie pool. Enda Booker and Bonnie Hood, 617 East 2nd Street. Bathroom pipe under the house broke. Water went under the house into the ground. Looking for a credit of $96.63. Both meet our criteria, so I would ask that you approve two sewer adjustments.
Motion to approve those.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anything else, Mr. Bose?
Nope. Good.
Okay, we got a couple random things where they pop up and we do an electronic vote. So we had a crane put an AC unit on a building for Partix Inc. The location was Artistic Impressions. That took up a couple parking spaces. So that'll need a signature. Next up, we had King's Trucking, who did they fixed the curb for an entrance at 1751 East Tipton. That would be a curb cut, so that was also came with a favorable from JG. So no real signature on that one. Next up, we had a road closure for Duke Energy. Darren Murphy requested pending the weather, 617 Ewing Street to 11th Street. There's a partial blockage for tree trimming. That one needs a signature as well. And last but not least on my miscellaneous stuff was a waste removal construction for Seymour Main Street. Brandon Gerkert sent this in for their building at 120 West 2nd. So they did some asbestos remediation and interior demolition with dumpsters outside. So there's your miscellaneouses from between times here. There you go, there's all of them. Next up, Keithley, any update on the splash pad? You get it resolved or
It is up and running.
up and running, and
3 hours this morning.
you only missed a little bit of time then if you're already up and running?
Just about 12 minutes of run time.
Yep, so great job on that, good job, lots of miscellaneous stuff, sounds like floating around in the system down there, so, remember not to put your Walmart bags in the splash pad when you're there. Next up is anniversaries reminder, stick around for the group picture, don't run off. There's your reminder on that. So, we're gonna start,
Mayor, I got just a couple things that
oh, you need some stuff too? Come on up, tell us about yourself.
Red shirt.
I just want to make you aware that the procession for Maverick will be this coming Monday, right during lunch hour, and it's going to be going down Walnut Street to Veslige, to 6th Street back to Veslige, and back up to the cemetery. So it's going to be right around lunch hour.
Lutheran Cemetery. Is that
What?
where they're going?
I'm sorry, but what?
Lutheran Cemetery. Yeah.
Asking if we could set ladder 1 up in the farmer's market lot, if there's room enough to hang the flag on. And also, I just want to let you know that the new ladder 3 has arrived. It's in, we're loading it up with equipment. We got mandatory training on that coming up the first week of July. And then we're planning on having a push-in ceremony out of Station 3. And as soon as that date's set, I'll put that out. All right?
Farmers Market's a great spot for that. Other thoughts in there as well. You could even do Keach Lot potentially if Farmers Market. Keach.
I'm sorry, I got water in my ear.
That's fine.
The lot
Right over
back
here
here.
behind them. So I mean, there's a couple options there. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Worst case, it's got a lot of flashy lights. We'll close the side street.
Second.
We'll make it happen. Okay, so anniversaries. Well, before I get to anniversaries, any other miscellaneous? I'm glad I said that because Dylan, I forgot you, buddy.
That's all that said.
Hey, this is Dylan Walls. He's your transit director, folks.
Dylan Walls, Public Transit. Here's one of our brochures that we can add with some of the stuff that I've given you guys. As of right now, we just recommend that you call 24 hours ahead, but we would like to enforce that. I think it would kind of break the bottleneck on our passengers. Highlighted in the orange is the policy that we currently have. We're just asking, that people call ahead 24 hours. We'd like to begin that August 1st, if at all possible. That'll give them a month to kind of read it over and realize that, that needs to be enforced. The policy will then allow passengers to get the desired time that they're asking for, but anyone who doesn't call and schedule 24 hours is not guaranteed that time slot. So this just kind of cuts out on those random calls for a trip to Walmart or whatever. And the only exceptions that I would like to have implemented is time change with appointments, time change with work or school scheduling, and any form of emergency.
Do you have some kind of awareness to your riders program you might do in July to make sure they know about that?
We can implement something like that. That's why I gave a month leeway there. I'm going to put it on our website. We're going to change our brochures, and I'll have our drivers pass them out to the passengers as they come.
And I'm sure regardless how much
There's always
information
gonna
you put
be
out
that.
there, somebody's not gonna see that.
Somebody's gonna
Right.
not hear it.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll make sure that dispatch also relays that over the phone system when they call in.
And that's not 100% that they won't get a ride if they call in. It's
Right.
just that they'll have to work with as available a little more than.
Right. See, right now it's a first come, first serve. So when people call in, they ask for 3 o'clock, we may not have it.
Yeah.
If they would give us 24 hours in advance, that would give us better opportunity to put them on the schedules where they want it.
Easier to schedule that way, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a drastic change to the policy. I think it's just actually putting into words
Right.
what should be anyway. So, any other questions on it?
We need to pass that?
Yeah.
So I'd make that motion. If you do some kind of rider awareness program,
Okay.
if you could add that, would be my motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve that piece for transit. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those
Thank you.
opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What else you got, Mr. Walls?
The second half is transportation of a child. We currently charge everybody, regardless if it's a newborn up to 100 years old, we charge them the $25 or the $2 or a token fee to get on the bus. I would like, if at all possible, to have anyone under the age of 8 to be able to ride for free. I think that would really help out the community. We have people right now who have to deny the service because they can't afford, the $25 a month or whatever it is for the whole family. Your average family, I looked up statistically, the average family has at least 2 children within their household. With a parent being on the bus and the 2 children, that's a $75 a month thing. So I feel like, we have anyone who is ADA required for, like with a disability, they're allowed to have an attendant with them, and we do not charge that attendant. So I think that, a child who needs the guardianship or whatever on the bus, they should be able to ride for free, anybody under the age of 8.
I mean, that makes sense. You know the numbers better than us, but I mean, is that something you want to try for a period, or you just want to go ahead and?
Well,
my point is, if we do make this change and the numbers really change money-wise, if that's even a concern,
right?
Trying to come back after, going back to how it was could be a.
I contacted United Way and a couple other agencies, and they said they have multiple families who can't use the transit system because they can't afford it.
Okay.
We had a lady that's walking from Sycamore Springs to Walmart. She has to take her kids on the busy highway from Sycamore Springs to Walmart for her job, and then she meets a babysitter there, and the child goes from, there's 3 children actually, go from Walmart to the babysitter. She's having to walk because she can't afford to pay for childcare and the transit system.
How much the rider fees actually, percentage-wise, fund the entire?
We make about anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500 a month on our bus passes.
But that's just a little small percentage
It
of what
is.
it costs.
Yeah, it is. We haven't really had many riders with children. I'd say we have probably 5 or 6 families right now that have 1 or 2 children that ride, but every month it's the same thing. We just really can't afford it, or we're having trouble finding the funds for it, or whatever the case may be. Some buy a pass for themselves and buy tokens for their child just so they can get on and off the bus. But when school picks up, we're going to have a lot more parents calling in and asking for the ride with them and their child.
Children have to ride with an adult, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Till
And
what age?
That's not a requirement. That's actually just within our agency here. We've come up with that over the years. There are some agencies that they don't have to have an attendant with them or a guardian. They pick up from a preschool and take them from a preschool to a library, and then there's an attendant at the library that takes over from there. One lady drives from a daycare to a preschool, and she picks up 35 kids throughout her day without an adult. That's just something that we've come up with for our safety measure.
The parent's still gonna be paying.
Yes.
The fee.
Yeah.
Would you put a limit on how many children could ride with an adult?
I don't know if we could do that. I have 6 kids, so.
That's kind of where I was going. Are we going to displace paying riders because, the family of 4, the family of 5, family of 6? You
Right.
can't, is that a question your transit dispatchers are going to have to ask now?
I mean, usually when someone calls in, they say it's them and a child. And then we ask if they have a bus pass or if they can pay the fee. There's not very many people really that call in and have more than 3 children at a time.
Well, but if what the United Way tells you, then
Right.
you might start getting inundated. That's just,
That is true.
just trying to think of all potential
Well,
issues you might run into.
Yeah, I'm sure you've given this a lot of thought, and I guess if we go with this approval and it doesn't work, then you guys may have to come back and do something different.
Right.
Correct?
I was gonna say, if we do approve, what if you come back in 90 days-ish and give us an update on it, if it's worked out, what the numbers look like, just that type of thing. And not so much that it's a sunset clause per se, but just that way then we are aware that it worked or it didn't work and,
Right.
you know, how it worked.
I spoke with another agency and they give a discount for their bus pass. A child is $10, where we charge $25 for an adult. We can look at that route, maybe, see if we can give them some kind of a discount for a child or go with this.
I'd try this.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think driving some, I think you're gonna get some,
Mhm.
but I don't think it'll be,
I'm not opposed to your request. I just think that, you know, if we need to come back and visit it that way, it's, hey, we're gonna try this for a period and then we'll see how it goes. So,
90 days will get you into the school year too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so give it a 90-day leeway?
anybody wanna make the motion?
yeah, I'll make a motion to allow your request with a 90-day review.
Yeah, report it,
Yeah.
report back in 90 days.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations, 8 and under is free. Anyone else miscellaneous?
Have some 6'8"
Well, I really contemplated adding 8 to, you know, and then anybody over 88 in the conversation, but I thought that might not be a good addition. Okay, so anniversaries. What we've got going on right now is, I think I've got 4 of them this month. 3 of you are here, not seeing the other one.
He's at school.
First up is Chris Cooper, who's at school. 5 years. Congratulations, Chris, at the Seymour Police Department. Chris's dad also works for us, and ironically, Chris's badge number is double what his dad's badge number is. It's one of the few sets that I remember. Next up at 5 years and in the room, Miss Dawn White, all the way from Austin, Indiana. 5 years already.
It seems like 20.
Their turn.
Really?
Thank you. You need to stay up there. Stay up there.
Stay up there.
He said a little bit.
Well, there's 3 of them,
I'm
so
not gonna take that long.
Yes.
Okay.
maybe I'll take my time. This next guy, been with us 10 years. If you've never ridden on the back of a trash truck with this guy, okay, that's not true because I've not ridden on the back of one with you. But I have ridden in a trash truck with him and he will make you smile.
He might throw you off the back.
He might throw you, yeah, seriously. 10 years, Tracy Banks, congratulations. Come on up. Now Tracy's was actually like April, but that's okay. We'll do it. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. And this next one, that doesn't have a label on it. 35 years. Oh, no, wait. Where's the other one, Jane?
There isn't one.
Oh, that's because you already gave it to him. Okay, next up, 30 years. He got his present a couple days ago. Sounds like they all had a darn good time in the process. Floyd Amberg. Now, for those of you that don't know, congratulations, Floyd. For those of you that don't know, Floyd actually started out in the mayor's office and has served. You've been at Parks for a big chunk of it as well. Is there any other departments in there?
No.
Just those 2?
The mayor's discretion.
Okay. So, congratulations, Floyd, on all your years of service around here. And how many weddings you up to?
455.
Wow. 455 weddings. You can give a shout out to Gloria for this.
Yes.
Get you involved in that one. So, congratulations, Floyd.
Thank you.
Thank you for 30 years of service. Okay, now to the 35 years of service guy. Gosh golly, that's heavier than I thought it would be. And he's not got a white shirt on today because apparently he didn't want any money for anything we got going on, which is good. But we are going to make him open his present in front of everybody, which is not something we normally do. But I want to see your reaction to it more than anything. But Eric Roll, Fire Chief. But again, you got to open it in front of everybody because I think it's a pretty cool gift.
Careful.
Yeah, don't drop it.
He can hear pretty good now that he's opened a
got
can.
it.
Yeah, that's
Before that, he could, huh? What?
it.
Huh?
He's got no water in his ears now.
I think I'm at a safe distance now. Greg, you might wanna move back.
Okay, need a knife.
I don't have one.
Got one.
Then fold.
It's not taped that well.
Oh, here we go. Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Hey, and we had this debate earlier, he is number 9, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
35 years worth of service.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brad.
And with
Thank
that,
you all.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn, that way they can do pictures.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned, enjoy your day, everybody.